The rain had a way of washing the city into silence, turning even the loudest streets into muted reflections, and as Adrian Hale's private car rolled through the iron gates of his estate without announcement, he felt a strange tightening in his chest, the kind that came before bad news, though he couldn't explain why. He had returned a day early from a business deal that would make headlines by morning, a deal everyone said was impossible. Yet all he could think about was seeing his twin sons. Evan and Eli, the boys whose laughter used to echo through the halls before his marriage began to fracture under the weight of ambition and resentment, and as the car stopped and the driver opened the door, Adrian noticed the house was unusually dark, no porch lights glowing, no movement behind the tall windows, only rain streaking down stone like tears, and that was when he heard it, a thin, broken sound carried by the wind, a child's sob, fragile and desperate, cutting through the storm. His heart slammed as he ran toward the sound, shoes slipping on wet grass, suit instantly soaked, until he saw them near the old oak tree, two small figures huddled together in the rain, mud on their jeans, hair plastered to their foreheads, arms locked around each other as if that alone could keep the world from breaking them apart, and for a split second his mind refused to accept what his eyes were seeing, because no father should ever see his children like that, abandoned, terrified, crying for warmth and safety that should have been theirs without question. Evan. Eli, his voice cracked as he rushed forward, dropping to his knees in the grass, pulling them into his arms, feeling how cold they were, how hard they were shaking, and when Evan lifted his face, streaked with rain and tears, whispering, "Mommy left," something inside Adrian shattered beyond repair. He carried them into the house, wrapping them in towels, hands trembling as he tried to understand how the woman he once loved could leave her own children alone in a storm, and as the boys clung to him, sobbing themselves into exhaustion, fragments of the past collided in his mind, arguments that went nowhere, nights he stayed late at the office, her growing bitterness toward the life that once glittered, and the final words she had thrown at him before he left for his trip, saying she felt invisible in a house built of money and silence. He laid the twins on the couch, lit the fireplace, brewed warm milk like he used to when they were babies, and as they slowly calmed, he noticed a folded note on the kitchen counter, its edges damp as if it had been placed there without care, and when he read it, his breath caught, the message short and merciless, saying she was done, that the life wasn't hers, that the boys would be better off with him and his wealth, and that she needed to find herself, as if motherhood were a coat you could simply leave behind. Anger rose like fire, but it was quickly drowned by guilt, the realization that while he was chasing success, something precious had been quietly slipping through his fingers, and as the night stretched on, Adrian sat beside his sons, watching them sleep, their small hands still clutching his sleeves, and made a promise to himself that no deal, no fortune, no public victory would ever matter more than protecting them. Dawn arrived pale and exhausted, the rain finally easing as sunlight crept through the windows, and in that fragile calm, the twins woke to find their father still there, still holding them, and for the first time since the storm began, they smiled, weak but real, a smile that carried more power than any boardroom applause Adrian had ever received. In the days that followed, the story of the abandoned twins never reached the media, because Adrian shielded them fiercely, focusing instead on rebuilding trust, on cooking breakfast badly but with love, on walking them to school himself, on listening when they talked, really listening, and slowly the house filled with warmth again, not the cold shine of wealth but the steady glow of presence and care. He sought help for them, and for himself, understanding that being a provider was not the same as being a father, and as weeks turned into months, the boys grew stronger, laughter returning in small bursts, while Adrian learned to measure success not by numbers but by moments, muddy shoes by the door, drawings taped to the fridge, bedtime stories read twice because they asked him to. One evening, as rain began to fall again, Eli looked up at him and said, "Daddy, storms don't scare us anymore," and Adrian knew that while he couldn't erase the past, he could shape the future, one choice at a time, standing firm where others had walked away. And if this story touched your heart, if it reminded you of the power of showing up and the importance of family, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because every story here carries a message worth hearing, and your support helps us keep sharing stories that inspire, heal, and remind us all what truly matters.